You make more money than you ever have before, and yet, it still doesn't feel like enough. Your income increased, your lifestyle improved, your opportunities expanded, but the pressure? It grew with it. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Many high earners feel just as financially insecure as people earning half their income. Not because they're irresponsible, not because they're unintelligent, but because wealth and income are not the same thing. And most people never learn the difference. When your salary rises, something subtle happens. Your expectations rise with it. You move into a better apartment. You upgrade your car. You justify better restaurants. After all, you worked for this. You earned this. But here's what nobody warns you about. The more you earn, the more you normalize. What once felt luxurious now feels standard. What once felt expensive now feels reasonable. And what once felt impossible now feels necessary. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's silent. You don't notice it happening. You don't wake up and say, "Today I will sabotage my financial future." It happens gradually, one decision at a time. A slightly better phone, a slightly bigger mortgage, a slightly more expensive trip, and suddenly, your financial freedom didn't grow with your income. It shrank, because freedom is not determined by how much you make. It's determined by how much you control. High earners often confuse success with security. They assume, as long as I make more, I'm safe. But high income without margin creates fragility. If your lifestyle requires your current income level, you are not wealthy. You are dependent. Now let's go deeper. There's a psychological reason this happens. When you grow up striving for more achievement, more recognition, more income, you wire your brain for expansion. But your nervous system doesn't measure net worth. It measures comparison. And comparison has no ceiling. You start comparing yourself to people who earn slightly more, live slightly better, travel slightly more often. Success moves the reference point, and the target keeps moving. High earners don't feel broke because they are broke. They feel broke because their expectations expand faster than their assets. And there's another layer: identity. When you earn more, you begin to associate your value with your earning capacity. You are no longer just you. You are your income. And that creates pressure. Because now, losing income feels like losing identity, which creates anxiety, which creates overwork, which creates burnout, which leads to spending as compensation. And the cycle continues. There's also something called the visibility trap. High earners live in visible environments, corporate roles, entrepreneur circles, professional networks, and those environments reward signaling. Nice watch, nice house, nice car, because status is currency. But signaling wealth is the opposite of building wealth. True wealth is invisible. It sits quietly. It doesn't scream. It doesn't announce itself. It compounds silently. But silence feels uncomfortable for people used to performance. High achievers crave feedback. Money invested quietly doesn't provide applause. A luxury purchase does. So one feels emotionally rewarding. The other feels invisible. And human psychology chooses emotional reward over rational gain. Every time. Then there's the fear of regression. Once you move up financially, you fear going backward. So you maintain a higher burn rate to preserve image, which means you must keep earning at that level, which reduces flexibility, which increases stress, and stress reduces good financial decision-making. You see how this works? High income creates complexity. Complexity increases emotional volatility. Volatility drives spending. Spending reduces margin. Reduced margin increases anxiety, and anxiety makes you feel broke. even when you're not. So what's the solution? It's not earning more, it's widening the gap between income and lifestyle. That gap is oxygen. That gap is peace. That gap is power. Because when your lifestyle costs significantly less than your income, you gain options. Options reduce fear. Reduced fear improves decision-making. Improved decision-making builds wealth. Wealth builds stability. Stability builds calm. And calm is the true signal of financial strength. High earners who feel secure do one thing differently. They decouple identity from income. They don't chase visible validation. They optimize for freedom. They invest quietly. They upgrade slowly. They expand intentionally. They choose long-term peace over short-term display because they understand something critical. Financial stress is not solved by income. It's solved by margin. And margin is a psychological decision, not a financial one. So the real question is not, how much do you earn? The real question is, how much space do you have between what you make and what you require to survive? Because that space is where freedom lives. And without it, even high earners will always feel broke.